Debs.
We're on.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is great to be here with you. It is spectacular outside.
Oh, yes.
And those of you who are at home, I hope maybe you're worshiping outside. And we are enjoying the Curtis Garden and the breeze and the no humidity. It's pretty amazing. And so it's a perfect time for us to set our Shabbat intention and space and take a deep breath just as that beautiful wind comes over us. So let's take a deep breath and release. Take another deep breath in, thinking about all that may have caused you some anxiety or stress this week. Think about all of that. And then when you breathe out, push out and release all of that that holds you down. Now breathe in one last breath, breathing in the sweetness, the beauty that is Shabbat. And release. And now we'll join together in opening song, Mayafe Hayom, which can be found on page 10.
Shabbat Shalom. Mayafe Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Mayafe Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Mayafe Hayom. Shabbat Shalom.
And we continue with lighting the Shabbat candles. You can find it on page 3. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue with Kiddush on page 4. The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God stopped on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on that day God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratavanu, b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
Our opening reading is not found in your prayer book. It's called Shabbat is the Place. It's a poem by Alden Solovey. Shabbat is the place where time and space meet without questioning how the beginning began or the ending ends. Shabbat is the place where song and silence meet, blessing each other with the gift of rest. Shabbat is the place where dreams and angels meet, yearning together for a world of peace. Shabbat is the place where holiness and eternity meet, praying together for the world to come. We turn now to the Baruch Hu, found on page 28. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Vaed.
We continue on page 31 with Mari Varavim. Please read with me the English. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. We turn, Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. We turn to the Shema on page 34, 35. We sing together the watchword of our faith.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We continue with V'ahavta.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha vedibarta bam beshivtecha bevetecha uvlachtecha vaderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha vehayu letotafot beinenecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 40. This evening we are going to sing Micha Mocha to Rick Recht,
Yep.
which is a melody we don't do as often.
Not as often. It's been a while. I thought it was time.
It's time. So Micha Mocha is our song of freedom. It's the moment the Israelites have crossed the Red Sea and they are celebrating. Micha Mocha is found in the book of Exodus, chapter 15. And it's really this moment of change. And so this evening, when I offer my Devar Torah, I'm going to talk about the difference between change and transition. And so as you sing Micha Mocha and celebrate that moment of freedom, maybe you can give just a moment of thought of change versus transition.
Ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot, oseh felech. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? When Moses and the children crossed the sea, they sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot, oseh felech. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh.
Page 42, Hashkivenu. This evening, it seems a little counterintuitive. Maybe even we don't want to ask God for a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace, because we have this canopy of perfect blue sky. So maybe instead we ask for a shelter of peace, a Sukkot Shalom, for all of those who do need a shelter of peace. All of those in Ukraine who are still struggling without peace. All of those who continue to be victims of gun violence and for which there does not yet seem to be a solution. And so as we sit here in this perfect canopy of blue sky, and those of you at home in your beautiful, safe homes, let us instead reach out and ask for others to have a Sukkot Shalom.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Amideinu Shomreinu Lechaim. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Amen. Amen.
We turn now to Vishamru on page 44. We give thanks for just having Shabbat and for the obligation to recognize that as God took care of God's self and said, I'm going to rest, we need to do the same as well. Page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Brit Olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Brit Olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael od hi leolam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Brit Olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat.
6 for the tefillah. We first take a moment to recenter ourselves with these words, "O Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may." Then pages 48, 50, and 52, the three central prayers of the tefillah. First, we recognize that we stand upon shoulders of our forefathers and foremothers, and then God's greatness, and then special prayer for Shabbat, either in body or in spirit.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav lehoshia. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech meimit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukedoshim b'chol yom yahalelu Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We turn to page 60 for Shalom Rav. We take a moment as we sing Shalom Rav to think about all of those things that we are grateful for, all of the blessings, small and large, that we have in our lives.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Ki ata hu melech hadar, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech hadar, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael,
So Deb, I think the birds were singing back to you while you were singing that. It was quite lovely.
I love it.
And you're still in the sun, so I'm going to ask if you want to move. It's getting hard for me to, Are you good?
To watch me squinting over here? I could probably just stand right here and be okay.
Okay.
All right.
It's up to you.
No, not quite. I'll
Okay.
go sit down there. I'll be fine. Go ahead.
Okay. We're going to turn from singing and thinking about our blessings to remembering that there are so many in our temple family who are in need of healing, whether it be a healing of body, a healing of spirit, emotional or mental illness, just struggles to.
You're cutting out.
I'm cutting
sorry.
out. Oh, that's so sad.
It's very sad.
It's very sad. Hang on. No. Oh, wow. So,
It's on.
okay. Is that better? Okay. It's not better?
You're fine. Go.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about the Mishaberach again.
Maybe just from
There
here.
are many in our temple family who are in need of healing. And so as my hand passes over the congregation here, I will ask that you lift up the names of those whom you love who are struggling, even as those of you on Zoom also have an opportunity to use the chat to do the same. And so this evening we think of
Jane, Michael, and Lori.
and we sing together. Our healing prayer can be found in the middle of page 253 if you need the words.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Makor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We take a few moments now for silent prayer and reflection.
shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
So I previewed what we might be talking about. We're going to talk about change and transition. Change is the external event or situation. Change can be relatively quick, and it often is relatively quick. Transition is the personal experience of that event or change. It's the psychological process we go through to come to terms with what's new. Change can happen in an instant, transition can take years. I have a theory that the Exodus, the Israelites crossing the Red Sea, the Israelites leaving, the Israelites getting Torah, all happened in the book of Exodus. That's all change. So the whole book of Exodus is about change, and the whole book of Numbers is about transition. Oh, I almost lost the whole thing there. Okay. The whole book is about numbers. The whole book of Numbers is about transition. And what we experience in the book of Numbers with them misbehaving, kvetching, not really being so nice, is about their dealing, their transition. They complain, they want to turn around, they want more food, they want water. Nothing's ever quite right. Well, what happens when we're in transition? Things aren't so good, right? So in our Torah portions called Bahat Lotecha, it's very hard to say, don't say it 3 times fast. In the book of chapter 11 verse 5 and the beginning of verse 6 reads, we remember the fish we used to eat it for free in Egypt. We remember the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, the garlic, and now our soul is dried up. This is what the Israelites are saying about being slaves. Do you really think it was that good? I don't really think it was that good back in Egypt. But this is their struggle, because every day for them is an unknown. And what was happening for them in slavery, it might not have been good, but it was known. And the only time they know what's happening is when that cloud lifts off the tabernacle and God says, okay, you can move. But they don't know where they're going. So it makes sense that they're a little bit nostalgic. They're trying to learn how to live in their new reality. This is a reorientation of themselves. Moses, however, is experiencing this transition a little bit differently. Moses, you might know, he's angry, he's burdened, he's overwhelmed, and he says, if I have to deal with it this way, I'm out. You might as well just kill me. Like he's doing the Jewish guilt trip a little bit. He doesn't seem to understand that gaining freedom for the Israelites also means losing something. They lost a sense of the known. The impact of the end of slavery was overlooked, and Moses lost his compassion. And Miriam and Aaron, what happened to them? They responded to the change with erratic behavior. They started gossiping about their brother. When Moses took a new wife, a Cushite, they started gossiping about him and this woman. Did you see? He took a Cushite. They start gossiping. And when Moses found out about it and God found out about it, Miriam was punished. Miriam was punished with Sara'at. I don't translate Sara'at because we don't know really what it is. Most Torah commentaries will call it leprosy. What happens in this moment, Aaron turns to Moses and says, what do you have to help me? She doesn't deserve this. And Moses finds his compassion. He finds his humility, and he beseeches God in the first prayer in the entire Torah. El na rafanallah. Please, God, hear her. Heal her. Please, God, heal her. I have a possibly radical proposal and interpretation of this text. Could it be that Miriam was struck with Sara'at as a tool to shake Moses back into humility, to give him his sense of compassion back? He was so angry, so stuck in his own transition that he forgot his leadership. He forgot who he was for the Israelites. Also, is it possible that this prayer, the first prayer in the entire Torah, was never meant to be narrowly recited for physical maladies alone? But as Miriam was also struggling with transition, was this prayer always meant for emotional, spiritual, and psychological healing as well? Could this prayer have been for Miriam as an example that we need all types of healing? There are many places in Torah where prayer would have been welcome, where healing would have been beneficial. To lift this prayer now, to lighten the burden of Tzara'at now, seems to me that this is possibly radical interpretation of text and a powerful possibility. And also a powerful possibility for us. We have been through extraordinary change in the last 2 or 3 years. And we are also in so much transition, understanding where are we and how do we manage our transitions. And so perhaps El Na Rafan Allah applies to us as well. And so Deb is going to sing that for us this evening. Shabbat Shalom.
You can sing it with me as well. El na rafan Allah, El na rafan Allah, El na rafan Allah, El na rafan Allah. It's in you. It's in me. The power to emerge into the light from the dark. It's in you. It's in you. It's in me. Talk to every fiber of your being with your heart. It's in you. Oh God, give me the strength. I am tired, but I'm listening. Is it in me? The answer's in me. Oh God, give me the courage to risk battling my brokenness. Is it in me? The way is in me. El na rafan Rafanallah, El Na 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 Rafanallah, it's El Na Rafanallah, 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 El Na Rafanallah. Look inside yourself, talk inside yourself, be brave inside yourself, have faith inside yourself. The strength is in yourself, 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 it's in you. It's in you. It's in you. Oh, it's in you.
Thank you, Deb. We turn to the Aleinu on page 283. Please rise in body or in spirit. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We turn now to our time of remembering. Our memorial meditation is not found in your prayer book. A piece of cloth in the process of being woven. The shuttle moves silently back and forth. The thread falls from the bobbin, laying the woof upon the warp, pass after pass, skein after skein, bolt after bolt. At times, the spool comes to an end and a new thread is woven seamlessly into the fabric. At times, the transition is not so smooth, leaving loose ends dangling, but the work of the weaver continues. The sound of the batten and the treadle of the loom does not cease. A piece of the cloth in the process of being woven, a tapestry of memory and life. On this Shabbat, we remember in Shloshim, in the first month since their death, Sarah Bernstein, Marjorie Ford Cohn, Sarah Fisher, Charles Fox, Rose E. Frankel, Gilda Gordon, Rhoda Green, Robert Hayes Grease, Cheryl Friedman Grossman, Asher Zelig Grossman, Rachel Kronthal Iglauer, Helen Klein, Samuel L. Kossoff, Ruth Schlang Levine, Edward Mannheim, Jerome J. Marks, Michael L. Miller, Lambert G. Oppenheim, Herda Oppenheimer, Sanford Samet, Harry E. Siegel, Ronald Smith, Florence C. Stoddard. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as together we turn to the mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Please rise in body or spirit. Yid Gadal v'Yid Kadash Shemei Rabbah, V'Alma Divra Chirute V'Amlich Malchute, B'Chayachon V'Yomechon, Uv'Chaye Techol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kari V'Imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Leolam Almei Almaya, Yid Barach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitramam V'Yitnaseh, V'yit hadar, v'yit haleh, v'yit halal, shemei dekudisha barechu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, huya asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, V'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and give comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. It's my pleasure to ask Bruce Sherman to come forward to share announcements and greetings.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This kind of represents my last act as a Board of Trustees member, as my second term on the board expired last week with our annual meeting, and I can't think of a nicer way to go out. Serving on the board and the executive committee has been a wonderful, enriching, and enjoyable experience. As we like to affirm weekly, we truly appreciate those who have helped us gather together tonight and create this Shabbat service and the spirit that goes along with this beautiful service. First off, thank you to Rabbi Van and to Deb Rogers for leading us through the beautiful service. Additionally, I'd like to say thank you to the dedicated STKA staff and volunteers who helped prepare for Shabbat, including transforming this courtyard, although I thought we were going to be on the patio tonight, into a bima, into a synagogue, and into a sound studio, not only for us to enjoy here, but through the miracle of transportable technology, can be enjoyed by anyone who has the link across the United States or around the world. Are they listening in Hawaii tonight?
Here.
Oh.
They're in Cleveland, so Sagamore Hills. But yes, I think
There you go. Remarkable and amazing. And thank you for all you do. I was going to say aloha Hawaii. Now for a few announcements. The Temple office will be closed on Monday, June 20th in recognition of Juneteenth. Secondly, please join us for Shabbat next Friday on June 24th, when Kol Ami will triumphantly return to the Bima. I know that Deb and the members of KKA have been working diligently on that evening's performance, and it will be great. Our summer gatherings are going strong. They were honored very beautifully at the annual meeting the other night for what they've done in the past year, the gatherings team. If you're interested in outdoor yoga, exploring farmers markets, or hiking, please visit the STKA website or reach out to the office for more information and or to register. Thank you to Ellen Ross for providing our lovely flowers on the bima tonight, donated in the memory of Rhoda Green. We're glad to see everybody who is attending in person tonight, and will attempt to hold services outside, weather permitting, from now on. We will continue to comply with CDC guidelines for our masking requirements, as is indicated by the sign on our front door. Of course, our vaccination policy is ongoing. Shabbat Shalom.
And we turn now to closing song Adon Olam on page 321.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Le'et Nasa,
Le'et Nasa,
Bechepto
Kol,
Kol,
Azai Melech Shemo Nikra,
Adon Olam, Be'acharei, Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, Adon Olam, Behu Haya, Behu Hoveh, Behu Yiyeh Betifara, Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Le'et Nasa,
Le'et Nasa,
Bechepto Kol,
Azai Melech Shemo Nikra,
Adon Olam, Vehu Echad, Ve'ein Sheni, Lehamshilo Lahachbira, Adon Olam, Beli Reshit, Beli Tachlit, Belo Haoz Ve'hamisra, Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Le'et Nasa,
Le'et Nasa,
Bechepto
Bechepto
Kol,
Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra,
Adon Olam, Vehu Eli, Vechai Goali, Vetzor Chevli Be'etzara, Adon Olam, Vehu Nisi, Umanosli, Menat Kosi Beyom Ekra, Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Le'et Nasa,
Le'et Nasa,
Bechepto
Bechepto
Kol,
Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra,
Adon Olam, Beyado, Afkid Ruchi, Be'et Dishan Ve'ayira, Adon Olam, Ve'im Ruchi, Geviyati, Adonai li Belo Ira, Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Le'et Nasa,
Le'et Nasa,
Bechepto
Bechepto
Kol,
Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra,
Adon Olam. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May God lift up each one of us, and may God bring us shalom, peace, and wholeness. Amen. Shabbat
Amen.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Let's say motzi together.
Here we go. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon.
B'tei avon, Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.